to another day. It is 7:05 p.m. We're stripping her down. I have been ill for the past several hours, not feeling well. So I'm removing these 4 pegs here. 1, 2, 3 I got out in 4. And I could do it the smart way, which would be to put it on an actual tool. I don't know if this has ever been out. God, hear the crack in that thing? It's like my back. 2 flat screws over here. This has a lot of sharp edges on it because of that cut on the video toaster. I'm going to round this edge off with a file. Let's see what underneath looks like. Not bad at all. Wow, you can see the chip layout in here. The dust, look at that. Dirt. This needs to be scrubbed off and peeled off. This needs to come off before I accidentally break it. Again, these lights are impossible to find. They're single piece dual pole LEDs. You can do the same thing by bridging, running 2 in series. We're going to wash the case to get the dirt off, the plastic piece, and scrub off any rubber stickers, what was left of the rubber feet. You can see the bottom is in shambles. There's scratches and dents and dings. We're going to make her look brand spanking new.
Really nice.
And the same will go for the power supply once I get that apart. Motherboard on the bottom, just like the day she left the factory. I put 204 ROMs in because we couldn't get the 1.5s to boot. I am removing the battery schmutz. It is the little area you see right here. And all I'm doing is taking a little chisel, and I have to get this lifted out of there and down to the copper. Like, oh my god, you're destroying it. No, I'm not destroying it, I'm saving it. Alright, look at that, looks great. Lungs in a can. I gotta micro drill it, open up the hole that was filled with concrete without having to sit here and blast it with. We're going to remove the decoupling capacitors, 1647s, and then a 16100, and then the 16470. These are Shoei's, greatest caps ever made. Problem I have with the capacitors is when they're bent. Bent over. I can't stand that. I know that's how they go in, but removing them when bent with a desoldering gun is just rough. I don't want to pull them out on an angle, so I bend the legs back up. The reason I'm taking these out so carefully, I want to test them. Boop.
Do you want this taco?
Is Barney going to eat it?
Yeah.
Then give it to him. Barney's getting the taco.
Huh?
Talking to the camera. 4 more nichies. These were Elna's. Balls are showing. This is our TC2 TC2 cap tester. Across the pins. Or 1647. Let's see what we actually get. So we have a capacitor, 47.01. Perfectly fine. 3.0 ESR, 1.2 ESR, 1.2 ESR, 3% V loss. So remember, 30 years old, but look at that. Crazy. Let's see, second cap. 47.25, 1.1. V-loss 2.8. I mean, not the end of the world. 1647, same capacitor, but brand new 2024. 47.46, 2.5 V-loss, 1.2 ESR. 2024, 1990. 47.6. So creeping up in capacitance. Could be drying out. But I mean, 30 years? The battery posts have been removed. I'm going to UV cure some epoxy over top of the hole. There's only a little bit of dookie around her hole there, but that's going to have a post in it. But we're going to get that out too with a micro drill. And then I'm going to UV seal it all up. Ha ha hee, it's got some light. Look at me, see my poo-poo color growing. Darker green. Where are you? Darker green because the UV. We have a spill that's been contained and UV masked. You can see it's a little thick in some spots, but that's how that stuff works. She's thick as Shakira's thighs and spots. Hello, it's 9:42 p.m. I just went to Wally World. That's empty. And I got some sanding blocks, felt feet, aluminum metallic spray paint with primer, and some Duct brand clean release painter's tape. Why? Because I need to sand down that metal. Now, this board I hot tanked in a can, and then you'll notice she is shiny as the day she left the assembly, and all is well. Sanding stickers off. Check this out. Look at that fancy thing. Remember there was a big goopy sticker from a felt thing? The bottom is now sanded. The sides are sanded. I haven't gotten to the inside yet because I'm turning into the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. Okay, here's some handheld behind the scenes floor mess. 6040. Here's the sanded case. And it's yuck. Raw form. Look at that shine there. Got all the rust off of it, all the little rubber feet marks. This is what the color it is. This is factory with the birth date on it. September 14th, 1990, sorry. The power supply guts are a little bit yucky. This is actually the power supply out of what's left of the UX chassis to restore the D. Metal, you'll see how awesome this is going to look when it's done. So I sanded that side, excuse me. It's got a sticker here on the bottom. It's the very bottom of the case. This is the top. You know, it has some issues. Some fingerprint rust and stuff like that. Mask off the Westchester, masked off the light on, and get this sanded down inside and out, washed, cleaned, and then we're going to start the reassembly process. Handheld Chris here again from the future a little bit. Power supply cleaned out, sanded, masked off the stickers the best I can, just on the outline, the Westchester, and here, and even the bottom little 9048. These will be sprayed independently. It's fine. This is all sanded. You can see it's nice and shiny. I use gloves when I touch it. I'll have to wipe that back down. Here is a finished piece. This is the riser section for, like, right here on this one. That piece. You see how that one's a little jacked up? But, yeah. This is this piece. Now, of course, this has been cut because toaster, you know, your toaster. But you can see clearly, it's like brand new. This is the switch. I had to cut this big piece of rubber. It's an isolator. And inside are 4 wires. La 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 la. And they correspond to line, load, whatever, and what the hell ever. But as you can see, this is broke. So you can see this is a thin one. This is a little fatter in the girth, right? So I gotta solder these wires on here and tuck this carefully back in all that mess. I'm going to take the Bigfoot power supply apart to extract this to put back in this. Oh, that's now clean, by the way. And how do I know this is not an Amiga 3000 original power supply? Well, zooming into the pickle here, if you look just right here, you're going to see that every single lead has been spliced in to adapt this larger board, and this board has actually been cut to fit the 3000's plastic shell. So not only is the first power supply a Bigfoot, the second power supply is a Bigfoot. Number one, we don't use SDS transformers as stock, only Bigfoots do. So here's the Bigfoot, right? Goofy tick board on in the red right here. It was glued to this one, SES transformer. You see it right there. Oh, dropping stuff. The fan module is just a Panasonic DC brushless. So if you're going to replace a power supply fan in a 3000, remember to pop off these little metal nipple things here. They clamp onto the fan. You'll notice right here, inside, and that's what your screw goes through for the back grill plate.
All right, important safety tip. Thanks, E.
Here is the drive tray, all taped up. Bloop, sits in here like this. She's all sanded down. The tape is for the original anti-friction, basically like box tape that's wrapped around the metal edges. Sharp point protection. Took a little sander file thing and just deburred the corners so you don't chop your finger up when you're putting it in. Not even cut my latex glove. Here's a drive sled back. You can see how it turned out like brand freaking new, man. Brand spanking new. So there's our original label saved. There's a little mark of old paint underneath of it because I couldn't get it exact, but cool, huh? Sticker saved. Westchester, past, whatever, West Chest. Alright, there's our drive tray with its original packing tape, I guess you'd call it. That'll go in next. The power supply should go on here, but important part about a 3000 that I was educated on a while back is make sure your lip is on the inside, otherwise your screw will have to go backwards. I did that wrong for a year. All of the screws on a 3000 are M4.70 pitch. Drive tray, it has lips that fit in these slots. DF0 is always on your left. There's a drive tray here with a second DF slot. It's been resprayed that I put a screw in first because I'm dumb. This can be used for a hard drive. The hard drive sled is still attached to the hard drive, which we're going to attempt to fire up. But I will need cables that are not with this unit. So I'm going to strip the cables from the UX to populate this one. That's floppy and scuzzy. I wasted a good amount of time talking and forgot to press the record button. Whatever the drive tray, how to hook the cables up, how everything's nice and new. Anyway, here's the restored Amiga. Brand new hardware and everything. The original hard drive that was in this machine, I think, with its scuzzy bracket and all the goodness that it was. Mr. Verne asked me if I could get the information off of here. We're going to see if these even work. This is going to be replaced with a Zulu RP2040 and a nice mount. We're going to put on the original hardware bracket. I'll 3D print it. We'll do it in Jesse PLA, so it's the Amiga color. We're ready to go. You want to see if this mofo works? I hope so, because I just worked my ass off on it all day. Now, like I said before, and didn't record, all of this will be removed again, and we're just going to press the button and listen for magic smoke or explosions. Turn the power on might help. Here we go. Low, high. Hard drive's not sounding great. Oh boy. Ooh. Let it run for a minute and figure itself out. Not happy. But there's two other drives that came with both of these machines. None of them are on trays, so they were just thrown in machines and units. I don't know what's what. We're just going to fire it and see what happens. I'm going to wait till this thing finishes making noise. Scuzzy light does nothing at this time. I'll turn this overhead off so we can get a better view of the LED. Something is white. And no. Let's load ATK. Oh, floppy light does work. ATK pops right up. I'm going to enable amber. I'm sorry, it was disabled. Oh yeah, so we're going to have to adjust amber because that is looking great. Get the disc out. Let's turn this off. Oh, that's rough as hell. We're going to load Amiga OS 2.1 install. I want to see if this thing shows anything before I go swapping drives. No drives attached to system.
Shit.
Let install load again while I remove the hard drive light from the UX. I'm going to get this out of here. Now, this isn't a completed project. All this is just preliminary. Plug this into the back and we'll have scuzzy power. Here we go. Hard drive number 2, Quantum LP120. Scuzzy light. Scuzzy light, and it's Scuzzian. I'm going to pull the floppy disk out and we're going to see if we get anything. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Scuzzy light works on this one, that's good. Scuzzy light, query, that's a good thing. So this PCB will stay. It's blipping for, it's looking, and ROMs. Okay. This thing is another Quantum. Here are the old Thailand tuck. Let's see what this monster truck does. Third hard drive Quantum. Spin up. Any hard drive light? Setting Morse code to Commodore. It is like it's getting louder. Let's boot Workbench and see if it does anything, but I doubt it. I know it won't. So that's all 3 hard drives dead. The best one's probably going to be that 105. We'll see what's on it when we get something booted. Okay. We're going to plug in my Zulu. It's plugged in. Got power to it. External Zulu hard drive light is working. My 3000 desktop image. Just the base thing to let us get all the goodies. This is running off the external Zulu RP2040 Mini in the back. My Amiga is set for RTG, which is not this. So it does say 3000 UAE for a reason. It's all in just testing things. This Amiga works. She's alive. We need to configure it for better things. Hey, it's another day. I went to the store and I bought felt feet. And then I lost them. So I bought some more. And then I found them. So now I have more felt feet. It's because these are felt pads. As I heat up the glue with a lighter. I'm like, what? Yeah, I get it nice and hot. Not to burn it, but that way it will stick and won't break free. Kind of neat. The interrupter of today, or today's interrupter is Mr. Kevin Q broke his iMac. Brand new one too, M2, 3? And has to take it into the old Best Buy. That sucks. There you go, a little bit of smoke. Line up your foot. Give her a squish. Good to go. How are you measuring the bottom ones? It's 1 finger by 1 finger, basically. We're going to try a final hard drive that I found on the floor. And don't remember if I tried or not. Because there's 3 of them on the floor, and this is another one. So we're going to hook this one up. Energize. Low, high. Noisy scuzzy. Any fan noise you hear, and printing. I'm horribly printing a color calibration cube. We're going to let it load install 2.1, hence the ROMs in here, until I get her switched. And then we'll see what happens. I have to take this back apart and put the 040 card in there and make sure it works. If it works, I'd like to try to preserve it if I can. Nothing. Scuzzy hard drives of the era are just death machines. Land of repairs has arrived. We got some wild stuff working on. Not the UX, that's going to be a while. I'm using the parts from both to make one good as new, including floppy drives and everything else. Tried parts and bits and pieces, and they work or they don't work good, or they require maintenance, and I want this thing to be as good and reliable as it can be. We haven't even gotten to the cards yet. We're going to put those in and get all of them sorted. It's several days later. I got the 3D printed Zulu bracket because I broke my 3D printer, so I had to print this one in purple on an old printer. I just finished writing 3221 Kickstart ROMs. I only had one of, so I had to sacrifice another 3.1 ROM and sticker, which I stuck right here. And now I'm building a 3.2 image on WinUAE using the full RDB mode 3000 hard drive controller. So after using the nuclear powered EEPROM eraser from Spectroline again, and I had this put away and then got it back out, and I bought two of them. I don't know where the second one is, so anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to unhook all this crap because I have to take the entire drive tray out again, carefully, including riser card and all of the goodies that make the 3000 the 3000. Excuse me, to get to the ROMs. (181), 180, 3221, 47.111. Bingo. So rock on, we got new ROMs. Turn this off, turn the mains off, unplug this, and start reassembly. Okay, so this is the Progressive Peripherals Mercury. It's a 68040 for the 3000. Uses those big pegs that we just put in. So this is a big pickle. A big pickle. So carefully we're going to line up that Kel connector with my bad eyes. We're going to turn this on. This power supply is very quiet, by the way. We're just going to boot sysinfo in the GoTech in a second. Oh shit. She's getting hotter than Pam Anderson 1987. And we failed. We gurued sysinfo. That's great. Oh, we just locked up and crashed. So, like I thought, something is wrong with her. Something is wrong with her. I don't know. I don't know. Let's select boot it. You plug your power supply into this thing, reroute the power cable through the bottom of the equipment, and then back up to provide power to the floppy drive. Well, that's been ripped out of this unit. Well, I'll tell you what, she is cooking like bacon over here, and I don't have a fan. So I'm looking at the PPS manual and board here, and booting anything is not happening. It just freezes. Alright, this will sit right here. Perfect. The board works fine. The 040 board, it shows as 040, but oh, there's a big rip in the thing right here. That could, see that right there? That could be a problem. And there's another one right here. A big busted one at the tip of my finger. Up in here. That's ripped, and that's like 3 lines. It looks like it was a scratch that was repaired. That's good. So those brakes are good. These are just a scratch. They do continuity. Alright, so it's back assembled. PPS 040. Works but don't work. So this is 3.2, right, on the 3000. And I put some stuff on it, like music and demos and tools and Eagle Player. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it all pretty, workbench-wise, best I can with arranging icons and stuff like that. Just making it look nice, kind of eyeballing it. I put some demos on here, 9-finger state-of-the-art. This is an NTSC machine, but it should run them. It'll be weird. You'll have some graphical missings on the top if this works. WHD load copied from a backup. Hopefully it works. There we go. Now it's down a little bit. NTSC music might be a little fast. It's 10:30 at night. Crap. There you go. F10 to quit. And it's putting in the discs automatically. Now, because I have the latest ROM, 47.111, it should not need the modules disc. There we go. We're done. Okay, here's a common problem. This is a 2065 Ethernet card. Commodore, in all their wisdom, put a little extra piece of plastic here and here. That's nice. But what happens is when you try and wedge it into a Zorro slot, there's not enough room. It won't fit. It will fit, but you crack open the end of your Zorros. How do you fix that? Just a little bit. Look at that. We'll do the same thing for the other side. Look at this. That came out sweet. Washed her under the sink. Magic eraser. A lot of love. Alright, my final step on this pickle is to get the networking. I'm going to do the board diagnostics with the double mouse button. It says okay. Networking is working. I'm going to put a couple more things on here. The toaster card and time-based corrector I'm going to leave out and just return to the owner, because not everybody's running standard definition video, and if you're going to leave it running, much airflow as possible now. Really wish I could get that 040 stabilized. I'll ask him what he wants to do with it. If I can fix it and use it in another machine, that would be awesome. I'd like to see that thing sing again. I'll have to custom order some weird fan for it and see if I can get it alive. If I can get it cool, it's a possibility I can get it working better. And it's custom software that is on the BBOAH or Amiga Resource.cx. We got the Boing Ball boinging, we got SMB mounter, we got Rhodey, we got Miami. Just so there's something to get things with if this unit ever does get online again. It's a real pain in the butt when you have to go and floppy chase and do all the stuff that I just did just to get some kind of networking on your Amiga. So we're going to fire up Amiga Explorer again because that works very well. I'm pretty sure I got the same IP address, so I'll just hit the button, and I do. So go to DH1 here, and I'll grab a browser. We'll stick in installs. Rebuilt, Zulu SCSI, 3D printed bracket on the original hardware, fresh paint, all new screws, wash clean motherboard. Didn't clean the Ethernet card, but it's functional, works fine. Copy an AMA SSL. I don't want to do that run eyebrows yet because it'll just yell at me. There we go. There's Aminet on the Amiga 3000 that we fixed. It's only an 8 color because I have my workbench in 8 color, mainly for speed of Magic Workbench. And anytime you run it in the maximum colors, you just slow yourself down and use up all your chip RAM. The Amiga's been totally fixed. I gotta put the cover back on, and we're good to go. So special thanks, Mr. Vern, for hooking a brother up with that deal of trade of work, but I would have did it anyway. And I greatly appreciate your contribution. And we'll share it all on the channel, and we'll teach everybody about Amiga Unix or AMIX. We'll get into that. Okay, I had to dig in the Indiana Jones archives for Amiga blank chrome silver plates. Oh, the owner does have one of these, so this will be going back with the unit, so he can plug it into the back here on the AUI, plug a standard Ethernet in, and it'll just work. On the back, minus the toaster cutout, she looks great. And there you have it, an Amiga 3000D, nice and restored. Network card, 3221 ROMs, 3221 OS. Full networking with Miami, and you're ready to rock. So, that's a complete restoration on this. New paint. Now, I'm leaving the top because this is a textured paint and I don't have it. So, this has been restored. This is a little yellow. Could use some sun bright. You can probably pop it off, stick it out in the sun for a day. That is all I got for now. Thanks for coming along on this extended, longer journey than normal. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?